So digital agencies, as we all know, aren't a one size fits all. So it's imperative that you find the right partner, whether that's an agency finding the right kind of clients to work with or the client finding the right kind of agency to work with. So I just want to unpack that and see everyone's thoughts about it.
I think chemistry is one of the big things. People work with people and they do business with people and they need to like their agency, which ultimately leads to trust. And that fundamentally is where you know it's the right partner. Of course, there's professionalism, there's experience, there's understanding of the platforms, and that's what you're looking for in an agency. We're not all equal and we all have different strengths, but drawing on experience trumps on a lot of the sort of being a specialist agency of TikTok or LinkedIn or, you know, one of the platforms. There's nothing wrong with being a specialist on that. In most cases, a client wants one digital agency to cover most of the properties. So it's difficult to have too many partners in the mix. Not that you can't, but having too many partners over-granulizes and doesn't allow the agency the freedom they need to really just do incredible projects. You need to be able to apply learnings from different industries to similar businesses or businesses that have experienced similar things. It's not necessarily about the vertical.
Yeah.
You know, you obviously understand the constraints. You work with guys who've got constraints in financial services.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain nuances there. It doesn't mean we can't, because we only worked in FMCG. You know, like, I don't think it rings true.
Then maybe you can unpack that. Where I would find it difficult is if you've only ever worked with retailers and e-commerce, how do you sell B2B?
Well, B2C and B2B are very different methods, but you're still dealing with people. You're still dealing with human behavior, and you still need to reach them where they are. So the fact that the one's a consumer and that's, you know they're on social media platforms, the other's also still a consumer in their own right. So what we need to do is we need to connect to them where they are being a consumer or where they are having their business activities. And there are two different schools of thought. The comms are different, but fundamentally you're still dealing with people.
Instagram may be a perfect place to reach a B2C entity, but you know that's why you go to LinkedIn potentially, or you do a really good drip campaign. You're still selling to a person at the end of the day. Just because it's B2B doesn't mean that, you know, the actual company itself is making the purchasing decision. It's still a human at the end of the day.
A representative of that business.
Yeah.
And they're going to make a decision based on certain experiences. They've got to feel a high level of trust. So they're not going to buy from a business they don't trust is going to deliver. Brand awareness, you know, so how are you going to reach them? You know, there's only so many touch points you can reach them, but you're still going to reach them as an individual.
And that's really understanding our clients, you know, and immersing ourselves into their business to really understand where their customer is.
And not even just us. I think when you're a business, it needs to be a priority that you're choosing a partner that wants to get to know you. It is a relationship. So you're going to be dealing with these people all the time. They need to show some sort of vested interest in who you are and what you do.
Got to take them out for dinner first.
Yeah.
Well,
I
mean, agency-client relationships are often difficult because there aren't really aligned values. So you have to make sure that the businesses are aligned. You know, they similar businesses, similar interests, and there's a chemistry. I mean, that's where the chemistry comes in. There's got to be a great working relationship, because sometimes campaigns go well and sometimes they go terribly. And it's really measured on how quickly you're able in a partnership to fix the mistakes that have happened. Mistakes happen. Platforms do strange things. Dramas happen. You can only plan a campaign so far. Sometimes things change. You need to know in the space that things might have to be completely redone, and that's the risk we run. There is no silver bullet in digital marketing.
And I think it's also about finding a partner that's going to be proactive in those changes.
The remedy is more important than what's wrong. If you are able to firstly figure out what is wrong and how you're able to correct it, that's where you buy the trust.
It's a collaborative relationship between an agency and the client. You know, it's there's things that we are aware of and things we're not aware of, and you need to find an agency that's willing to sit with you and actually put in the work to try and understand where your business is and where you're trying to get to.
Yeah, an agency that's willing to include the stakeholder in a big way.
Look, at the end of the day, when things go wrong, how transparent were you with the client about saying, this has gone wrong, we picked up on it, we found a solution, here's the way forward. That's customer retention, building trust. I mean, that's not hiding information from the client and, 6 months down the line when they see this massive hole in their stats going, what the hell happened? It's really just being upfront, and that's how you create those relationships.
I'm Mark, we're Firewater, let's chat.